Alright. Good morning. 12:35. And I think it's been since puny since I slept that late. This late. And I'm pretty sure that when I slept this late before, I was sad. But nah, I just slept like a baby, man. Been in town for a week, wasn't getting a whole lot of sleep. Not even because I, couldn't handle the freaking cars and traffic and dogs and shit like that. It just, I was staying at my brother-in-law's house, and there's no way in hell when he's getting up to go to work that I'm going to be laying in bed. That's just not going to happen. So I think on average I went to bed in town at 2 or 3 in the morning. The morning I sent the email, I went to bed at 5:30 or 6, got up at 9. But I was usually going to bed at 1, 2, or 3 and getting up with him at 7 o'clock, 6:45, 7, 7:15. And, that really kind of helped me get up and get the sleep out of my eyes and realize that, all right, man, fucking here's the day. Let's do it. I brought back another battery with me yesterday. Charged it up at Mikey's place, and one of his batteries, drug it all the way down here, got it here, plugged it into my fucking voltmeter, and 0 volts, 10.6, 10.5. So that was a waste of 3 hours. Thomas's battery is dead. My big battery, for some reason, is still putting some juice in my laptop, so that's a plus. So, yeah. So, not a whole lot of juice running around camp here. And the sun just kind of came out. It was raining last night. I woke up about 4 o'clock, 5 o'clock, and it was just enough rain to wake me up. But the tarp is definitely not ready for a storm. But, no rain got through and no rain puddled up. So, but like I said, it was more of a sprinkle. But, yeah, I just woke up this morning going, all right, I got a little bit of fuzz on the top of my head. Kind of sucks. Should have hit the razor when I was over at Ed's house the other day. But, no, today I think it's just going to be real casual, real mellow. I want to do some kind of rearranging in the tent. I've got a tiny ass fucking tent now. It's 6 by 6, so it's smaller than a jail cell. It's basically enough to lay down and stack shit around you, and that's it. But I want to go through the inside of the tent and kind of get things organized a little bit better. There's not a whole lot I can do because I got limited space, but I think what I want to do is put all my clothes in the big zippy bag. The zippy bag. I'm going to put all my clothes in the zippy bag and put all the food outside in the totes. I'm not really sure yet. I got a lot of shit going on, and I'm used to wearing just a pair of shorts and a t-shirt, or just shorts, no t-shirt, no jacket, no nothing. So starting to get into the time of the year where I'm going to need to pull out jeans and sweatshirts and jackets again. So clothes is going to be, kind of everywhere. So like I said, I'm just going to kind of throw everything outside of the tent door that I don't want in here, and I want to get organized and arranged outside. And I'll take everything that I keep in here and kind of get it situated. And, just when you're living in such a small space, you have a tendency... Excuse me. You have a tendency to move shit from over here to over here, and then back, and then back. One, it gives you something to do and makes you feel like you're keeping things clean and tidy, which you are. And two, it's just, you have such small space that you need to continue to change it up. Because when you wake up every single day, it's going to look like this. There's just going to be shit strewn everywhere. This is the left side of the bed. And, there's just stuff everywhere. And then you get over here, and there's clothes and blankets and bags of clean clothes and laptops and smokes and guns and fly tying kits, and you know, I think I'm going to hang my bread from up there because last time that worked really well. Keeps the bugs and the critters out. But so yeah, I mean, that's basically about it. We're gonna just, you know, move some shit from over there to over there, and hopefully when we put it over there, it's gonna be stacked a little nicer and make you feel a little better. So I feel great. I feel not like I don't feel great when I'm in town, or I don't obviously know that that's the direction that I'm working, but I have an established happy place out here, and my happy place is not because nobody messes with me or nobody comes around, because we've seen I can do a good job of doing that myself. But out here, things are controlled. I know what's going on. I know what's coming. I know what comes around the bend. If it's X, Y, or Z, I know how to handle that. I know that that's not going to get me and hurt me and attack me. But when I go back home, you know, I don't have as much control. But the 5-6 days that I spent in town, I really did learn really quickly that I do have control. And I don't need to this or that. And I don't need to get engaged in the chaos and the trauma. I can just stand on the outside and smile. You know, if people are on the back porch smoking and talking, and I know what they're talking about, and it's shit I don't want to talk about, I go to the front porch and smoke. And I don't believe that makes me feel like a social outcast or makes me feel like I'm too good for those things or those people. It just makes me feel like, and it should make them realize that I'm too good for that fight. I'm not going to play that game anymore. I'm done. And going back, I said I was done with X, Y, and Z for the last couple of weeks, but going back and being knee deep in X, Y, and Z and being done with it, and not one frickin' time doing or saying anything that I regret, shit. It's my gift to get to come back out here for 2-3 more weeks, put my head down, do some of the things that I want to do, finish my process, and go back to the real world, and go back and live my life. It's a gift, it's a joy to be able to come out here, do what I've done, go back for a week, come back, go back for a week without planning it. I did not plan on going back for a week. I went back to push a button on an email and cruise back. Well, it turned out it took me 5 days to figure out how to get those monster folders or in those monster files into an email. And I didn't really succeed the way that I wanted to. I wanted the videos to pop up in the email. Well, files were, you know, almost a gig a piece, so I couldn't get them to do that. But, you know, right there, that should have friggin' stressed me out, angered me, and it did. It had me pacing a couple times out in the backyard. It had me telling myself, you know what, let's not do anything else this evening because it's already 11. Let's just shut her down, watch an hour's worth of TV, go to bed. And I did. And I woke up the next morning at 6:30, 6:45, 7 o'clock when Ed woke up, shot the shit with him for an hour around the breakfast table, just him and I. He goes to work. I get done, I go to the computer and I go to work and I spend 4 or 5 hours and boom, got a little closer. And every single day I got a little closer. What I planned on doing got a little better, and I didn't stress. I didn't beat myself up. I didn't have huge expectations. I didn't feel like a failure when I failed, and I didn't feel like Super Dave when I succeeded. It was like, cool. Check that off the list. Let's keep on going. And I'm sorry, but it just makes me happy. I went to my cousin's house and he kind of looked down his nose at me, thinking I was sick, thinking I lost too much weight, thinking what the fuck, I hear you went to the woods. I didn't even over-explain. I just said, dude, I know it's crazy, but really that don't matter. I did what I wanted to do, and I did what I needed to do for myself for the first time in my life, and I got nothing else to say about it. Because I didn't feel like I needed to explain myself. Because I knew if he gets it, he gets it. If he don't, he don't. If I got to tell him twice, then maybe he won't. And I'm okay with the fact that he won't understand. Because I wouldn't fucking understand if I was a member of the normal society and somebody came along and did what I just did. Well, you know what? I also wouldn't understand sitting in a room dying. I also wouldn't understand sitting in a room crying. I also wouldn't understand sitting in a room on a coke binge, fucking ultimately trying to kill myself because I didn't have the balls or the backbone to freaking do it myself. So I understand that people don't understand this. Trust me. You're lucky I told you about this and didn't tell you about that. Because if I'd have told you about that and where I was before and what I was doing before that ultimately got me here, shit, you wouldn't have understood me back then. You would have looked down your nose at me then. Well, I'd rather have you look down your nose confused now at this. Because you look down your nose for a day or a week or a month or a year at me now, and eventually you're going to go, huh, you know what? Looks like he's got it figured out. Looks like he's finally doing what's right for himself. Well, yeah. So I was looking at myself. My eyes are really dark. Got a little bumpy bump right there. It's not a zit or anything. It's just a defect in my body. That bump is always there. I don't know where that comes from, but that's just there. If I look at myself in the mirror right now, this being my mirror, my face, I look and feel haggard. And the interesting thing is when I look at myself and look and feel haggard right now, I know I'm haggard right now because I am physically exhausted. I know that I spent a week in town sleeping no more than 2 or 3 hours a night. And last night, for the first night, I would have never told my sister or my mom, hey, I'm going to go to bed and just let me sleep as long as I need to. I would have never done that because, honestly, I wouldn't want them remembering that as being part of my trip back home. I'd want to remember, fuck, man, the kid went to bed at 3 in the morning, woke up at 6 and never bitched about it and was never tired and, just kept on going. And, I'd rather have that be the memory because that's the memory. That's who I am. That's what I do out here. And looking at myself a little haggard and tired looking right now, I'm okay with that because I know that I'm haggard and tired because I'm physically exhausted because I went into town, not because I couldn't sleep, but because I had work to do. I had things that I was trying to get accomplished, and I got them accomplished, and they caught up with me physically, and I came back out here to where I live, my home, my happy place, my comfort zone, and I went to bed at 11 o'clock, and I woke up at noon. I slept 13 hours. Not because I laid here going, I don't want to get up. What am I going to do with my life? I'm so overwhelmed. No, because I woke up and heard a little bit of rain dropping going, all right, well, that means I'm not going to be laying in the sun today. I'm fucking tired, so I think I'm going to go back to sleep. And I found another comfy spot, and I rocked that for 2-3 hours. So I'm in no way beating up on myself and won't for sleeping in because I needed it and I earned it. A new sound we get used to, the fucking wind blowing the tarp and shit around. Not a scary sound, just a new one. We gotta check it out. But oddly enough, sun's out. I guess maybe we could be laying in the sun today. But I think the punchline is I know what I'm doing. I know what I'm not doing. And in life, when you don't know what you're doing, and you're doing things you know you're not supposed to be, you're setting yourself up for fucking pain and suffering. And if you've got a conscience, then you'll beat yourself up a lot. Because you'll know what you're doing is wrong. And on the other side, you'll know that there's so many more things you could be doing. And when you're not doing those things, it's not only bad because you're not doing them, but then you beat yourself up about it. And you get yourself stuck in this vicious fucking cycle when, damn it, the sun's out so you can get up, so you can be alive. Every day, God washes away the mistakes of yesterday and frickin' gives you a bright and shiny new day to try again. And even if it's not bright and shiny, even if you wake up and it's pouring down flipping rain, man, dude, there's something cool in rain. You go outside and see a leaf floating down the fucking middle of the road or something. It's like, hey, that looks like a boat. Reminds me of childhood. Life is good today. And, I used to say all this shit and turn to not turn the camera off, but I used to say all this shit and turn the corner and go be sad. Ain't gonna fucking be no sad today. There is no sad. I haven't been sad yet. I haven't been sad in a month and a half. And it's trippy, man. Look, the sun is completely out. I don't know if you can see, but the sun is completely shining and it's raining. So that kind of proves what I just said. Just because there's a little water falling from the sky don't mean it's a shitty day. Don't mean you can't do what you want to do. Just means you got to dress different, make different preparations. And actually, I kind of would like it if it poured down rain. I really would right now, because that would give me an opportunity to see how this ground reacts to water. And does the rain blow in from the back, because I'm a little short on the tarp on the back side? Is the rain going to blow in? I'm hanging over probably 3 feet, but do I need to be over 10 feet like I am elsewhere? So the sun is gone now, and it's cloudy, and it's going to start raining. And I'm not only am I okay with that, and I can survive the rain, but I'm stoked because fucking I get to go out and work with my tarp in a real life situation, because I don't exactly have a hose to set up my tarp and spray my tarp down with a hose to see where it drains. So we really need the real thing. And the real thing's cool and all, but I don't want it at 3 in the morning when I'm fucking sleeping and water's pouring in my tent. So this gives me a chance to see how the tarp's going to perform. But the other thing is I really got to start taking care of the laptop and the hard drive again, because the moisture's coming in. Just in the amount of time I've been talking, dew has settled on my beard. And it will on my head. It'll start collecting. Yeah, it'll start collecting on my head. But so if dew's collecting on my face as I'm moving around, talking, doing my thing, it's got to collect in a laptop or a hard drive. So I've really got to dig out my bags again and make sure that I've got everything stashed away as safely as I can. I've made it through the winter the other side, so making it through the fall shouldn't be bad. So I'm gonna shut her down. I'm gonna wake my junk up. I'm gonna freaking throw a bunch of shit out this tent door that I don't want in here anymore, and we're just gonna freaking party on with our bad self. So life is good today. I was trying to think of a line out of something that I've written that applied, but I haven't written a whole lot of happy-go-lucky, sunshiny songs, so didn't really have something for you there. But I love you. I miss you. Goodbye.